All right, Clayton, good to see you back. Just talk us through the last sort of couple of months, your injury, your recovery, and how you are now.
Yeah, unfortunate injury. Out for 2 months, and then kind of my goal was to get back for those All Whites games, and fortunately I was able to play half an hour in the ALeague game, despite the result. But yeah, I'm back now and hoping to be a part of the team pushing for the finals.
How did you enjoy being back with the All Whites boys?
Yeah, it's so good to be back with those boys. I think I missed the Aussie games through an injury as well, so yeah, first time seeing them since the Costa Rica games. But yeah, it's so good to be able to play at home in front of your friends and family. So it's been it's a good environment to go into.
It must be pretty special going back into that environment, because you see some of the guys, like you see Tim Payne every week, but you don't see a guy like Declan win at all, really. So what's it like to reconnect like that?
Yeah, it's massive. I think me and Declan were close throughout the 20s World Cup, and then through the All Whites, through all the way to the Peru playoff. And I think we hadn't seen each other since then, so it's about 6 years now. So yeah, it's crazy to see him again, and yeah, it's like we saw each other last week. Yeah, it's a good bond to have.
And as far as the next 3 or 4 years is concerned, because I guess we're now at the very start of the next World Cup cycle, does it feel like an exciting time to be part of this team?
Yeah, for sure. I think although we don't have a permanent coach at the moment, I think all the boys know what's at stake, and having this spot to kind of grab, and knowing that there's opportunity to go to a World Cup, I think it's something that we'll look forward to. And regardless of who the coach is, I know the boys will be itching to go to a World Cup.
All right, Phoenix, last 5 games before the finals, and you're well and truly in the playoff picture. How do you approach the next month? Just spoke to Sam Sutton. He said it's game by game. It is a cliche, but is that what you do? Yeah,
for sure. I think we've managed to put ourselves in a good spot. I think the last couple of years we've been 6th, 7th fighting just to make sure we can get into that 6th spot. I think where we are at the moment, we can really start to even push for 2nd, 3rd, and hopefully get that home semi, and that'll be crucial. We know we'll get the fans down here, and yes, this is our last home game in the regular season, so in Wellington anyway. So it's nice, and hopefully the fans can come out, and then we can obviously repay them and hopefully be back come finals.
I know every point's precious at the moment, and sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do. But we saw against, I know you were playing against Newcastle, against Sydney, that it was almost a shutting up of the shop quite early, really. After an hour or so, if we said afterwards, he didn't really want to do it, but kind of had to do it. Would you prefer to be on the front foot in the back end of games?
Yeah, of course. I think you always want to push for more goals and whatnot, but teams coming to the end of the game, they start pushing more numbers forward. I think as well we got to be a little bit cautious. We know if we keep the 0, we give ourselves the best chance. I think we've scored in pretty much every game this season, so we know we're going to get opportunities to score. It's just about keeping them out, and I think recently the grinding that we've been putting in the last 20-25 minutes has really shown us keep tracking up the table.
And Oscar back from baby duty. Young Leo has arrived, which is wonderful for him. But good to have him back, obviously, as your main source of goals this season. Yeah,
for sure. I think Oscar's been someone who we've turned to in moments, and he's popped up with a fair few goals, and it's credit to him. He's been working hard off the pitch as well. And yeah, it's just good to know you've got a striker who's going to bang in 10-12 goals every season. So hopefully he can continue that for the rest of the season.
And you're on the home straight as well of this chapter of your career. You've got 5 games here, and then the next chapter arrives. Is that something you're able to put out of your mind?
I think so. I think at the moment I'm a Wellington Phoenix player, and I will be until the end of the season. So I'll be putting my best foot forward and pushing for hopefully winning an ALeague title here. I think that's my goal. It's always been my goal since I joined here, and hopefully we can repay the fans that have found it tough with COVID and not being able to come watch the team. So it's definitely something I'll be pushing for.
In terms of a time frame for your future, is that something which we're likely to find out this season or at the end of the season?
I'm not too sure at the moment. As I said before, I'm just going to focus on the Phoenix and finishing the season well here, and hopefully getting that ALeague title.